Khmer rock and roll. This was a music subculture I found particularly interesting as I've involuntarily listened to it for most of my life. My grandfather plays it every morning when he takes me to school. My father made me sing and play these songs for him. My family has always had a passion for this genre. And it was not until now that I realized its cultural significance. The 1950s to the mid-1970s is often referred to as the golden era of music in Cambodia, a time in which Khmer rock and roll emerged that combined music genres from across the world, from America to Latin America to Europe, creating a sound like no other. It entered the country in a variety of ways. Wealthy Cambodians who traveled abroad brought back Western pop records as well as important Afro-Cuban and Latin American records. Civilians at the time were also exposed to Western music through the US Armed Forces radio. Due to the war in Vietnam, the US military was gradually increasing its presence nearby, and as such, Western music was broadcast to troops and hence Cambodians. This was a time where clubs, bars, and live music venues prospered in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, which later spread to other provinces. This was a time where people across the nation united, sang, and danced. Since Samon, Rus Reisatir, Hoi Mien, Painaran, and Rakar are just some of the many key figures of this golden age. Khmer rock and roll, however, was decimated in the Khmer Rouge that lasted from 1975 until 1979. In its rule, the Khmer Rouge wiped out all traces of modernity and Western influence in hopes of achieving their deadly focus on the culture of Cambodia. Intellectuals, artists, and musicians were specifically targeted and eliminated, since musicians had such a large influence in popular thinking. This totalitarian cultural movement influenced the destruction of the subculture. Since Samon, a pioneer of modern Khmer music for his ability to blend Western and Cambodian sounds and considered the king of Khmer music, played a vital role in defining the sound of Cambodia's popular music industry. His songs were iconic, evoking meaningful lyrics, capturing stories of love and the Cambodian landscape while using a combination of genres, as shown here.
ឃើញតែរួមរៀងស្រសងហាបងនឹកថាបើសិនអូនរងណាវាអូនពិតជារងសំរៀងមិនដូចធំមកឲ្យមិនសមអស្ចារ្យណែខ្មៅស្រិលហាដូចនិលឆ្នៃសាច់មកថៃគួរឲ្យស្នេហាចេញจากខ្វងសំនឹងនេត្រាទាន់តាស្មើត្រឹមញញឹមឲ្យស្លុតស្មារតីអាកូ
In this song, he admires the beauty of his partner, vividly describing her appearance and his desire to be with her, while encouraging her to dance to a go-go, a genre originated by African American musicians in Washington, D.C. the same time frame. It utilizes Western instruments such as electric guitars and drums, instruments that differed from traditional Khmer ones. Its overall style resembles Western music, especially those sung by Elvis Presley and Chuck Berry. The beats, rhythm, repetition, and pace follows the principles of rock and roll music we all know and love. By promoting a go-go, it reflects the value of foreign music to Cambodians at the time. The song exemplifies Khmer rock and roll and shows the blend between cultures, not just with Western rock and roll, but with Western and go-go. Released along the same time as the Khmer Civil War and Cambodia's engagement in the Vietnam War, this song resonated with the community by offering them an optimistic tone by encouraging dance, joy, and love with and for one another. This is significant to the music world as it highlights the importance of music. The music subculture of Khmer rock and roll was proof that music was a space where different cultures could blend while advocating for peace and joy. In fact, its importance was so evident that the Pol Pot regime made it a priority to shut it down.